Welcome to lesson 1. We're going to go ahead and put a movie clip on the stage two different ways using Actionscript. First, I'm going to create an object. I go over to my toolbar and I'm going to click on this ball layer, and on the ball layer I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw a ball. Now if I want to preserve symmetry, I hit the shift key and I can make this ball any size I want. This is not yet a movie clip. If I click the selection tool, select my ball, right click on it, I can convert this to a symbol. There's different kinds of symbols I can use. I'm going to make this a movie clip, and I'm just going to call this B-ball. That's the name I'm going to see in the library. If I click OK, B-ball is now in the library. If I delete this from the stage, I notice I still have B-ball. So I'm going to drag an instance of this out onto the stage, and down here in the properties panel I'm going to give it a name. I'm just going to call this guy B-ball 1. So B-ball 1 is now an instance of B-ball. Again, the class is in the library, and I can look down here on the properties button, click, and I can see if I want to use this in Actionscript, I can go ahead and just click on this export for Actionscript. I'm going to call this guy B-ball MC here. So I've got two different names now that I'm going to use to create these balls. The first one is ball 1. This exists when the program begins running. If I'm going to refer to this ball, I call it B-ball 1. If I want to use something from the library, I have to refer to the name that I exported for Actionscript, which is B-ball MC. So let's try both of these. First of all, I've created a layer for Actionscript 3. I'm going to click on that frame. I'm going to hit F9, or simply go to my Actions panel by hitting Window, go to Actions, and so I'm going to go to B-ball 1, and I'm going to go ahead and change a property. Let's say we change its X property, and that's its location, the X coordinate of its location, and let's go ahead and we're going to add that, or we're just going to say that equals 300. Okay, so now when I run the program, we see that this guy has moved over to 300 pixels from here. So we come from here, we come over 300 pixels, and that's its X location. If I want to change its Y location, I can do that too. Copy all this, and we'll just change its Y location, change this to Y, and now let's say we take it 100 units from the 100 pixels from the top of the screen, run the program again, and now I see I'm over 300 units on my X coordinate, down 100 units Y coordinate. Remember, in Actionscript, this is the point 0, 0, so I've come X over 300, Y down is actually positive 100. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to call this guy from the library. To call something from the library is a little bit more complicated. I've got to refer to its Actionscript name, which in this case is B-ball_MC. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call this guy B-ball2, and it's going to be of type B-ball_MC. So I say equals new B-ball_MC, parentheses. This is a method that's going to create a particular instance of my object. So now I want to give it a location. So I'll go ahead and say B-ball_MC dot X. Let's say equals, I don't know, let's say 400, and let's do the same thing for the Y coordinate. So I'll say dot Y, and that's equal to, let's say, 200. Now if I run the program, we won't see the second ball yet. Oops. Sorry, I've got to give it this name. So B-ball2 is right here, and B-ball2 again. Now when I run the program, I won't get any errors, but I only see B-ball 1. I don't see B-ball 2. The reason is I haven't added it to the stage. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I take B-ball 2, and I'm going to go ahead and say add child in parentheses, and inside here I'm going to say B-ball 2. Now I'm going to add that guy to the stage, so when I run the program, I'm going to see my second blue ball. So in these steps, I create a new instance, called it B-ball2. I have given that guy coordinates, 400 on the X, 200 on the Y, and I have to add it to the screen. Okay, since this guy b-ball 1 was already on the screen, I didn't have to add him. And so there's two different ways I can get my movie clip onto the screen. And I have to refer to all these different names to make sure every instance has its own name. If I wanted to repeat this whole step, copy this down, I can create as many instances of this as I want. Let's go ahead and call this guy b-ball 3. And so b-ball 3 is going to have an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So just change all these guys to 3's. And let's make this 100. Now I'm going to have 3 balls on the screen. And this is the b-ball 3, this is b-ball 2, and I have b-ball 1 here on top. That's it for today. Bye-bye.